made it to Paris! There is so much to do in Paris with a toddler, and we had the best time visiting. But there are a few things that I wish I would have known before our trip. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kirsten from Prebook Travels. I travel with my toddler all over the world. We have been to over 10 countries already as a family. And I am also now 21 weeks pregnant with baby number 2. If you don't already, be sure to subscribe and like this video so you can see more videos about traveling with kids. We spent 3 days in Paris and we honestly got to see a whole lot. First, I'm going to share our favorite attractions and then a few tips to make your trip to Paris a little easier.
We made it to Versailles. Everyone's all bundled up. It's freezing.
Attraction that we weren't really expecting to love, but we did, was the concierge. They had an awesome augmented reality with iPads that was super interesting for me and my husband Ryan, but also for Adeline because she loved looking at the screen and seeing what the prison used to look like hundreds of years ago. And of course, the Eiffel Tower. We didn't actually go up into the Eiffel Tower. You totally can do that. It's a lot of fun. I've done it before, but I decided I didn't want to do all those stairs. Newly pregnant and having morning sickness and dealing with a toddler who would probably want us to hold her. I'd say if you are gonna do that, bring a carrier for your baby or toddler because I would think that would make it a lot easier, but personally I haven't done it. We did love the carousel right across the street, and it would also be really fun to do a little picnic in the park. The Eiffel Tower is an amazing, iconic attraction that you definitely have to check out. Luxembourg Gardens is a beautiful park to check out. We stayed right near here, which was great because it was close to a lot of tourist sites, but it was a lot cheaper than staying right next to the Eiffel Tower, which I would have loved, but we were trying to save money since we were on a month-long trip. And the Luxembourg Gardens also has these sailboats that toddlers can pull around in the water. These close, at least when we were there, around 5 p.m. It was during March, so it was kind of the off season. I'm not sure about during summer. But just make note of that because I was disappointed that we didn't get a chance to do it, but hopefully whenever we return in the future, we will. We also had a lot of fun on our sightseeing river cruise. We just happened to time it right that we got to see the first lighting and twinkling of the Eiffel Tower right as we were leaving, which was amazing. So if you can do a cruise right around sunset, you'll be able to see that. The Tour Eiffel website says it sparkles on the hour for 5 minutes from nightfall until 1 a.m. So if night falls at 7:40 p.m., the lights sparkle first at 8 p.m. And the last sparkle at 1 a.m. has a special feature. The golden lighting and the beacons were switched off, leaving only the sparkling lights for 5 minutes. I have not stayed awake till 1 a.m. to view that, and I kind of doubt you will be doing that with a toddler, but it is probably worth it to stay out until nightfall at least one night so that you can see the Eiffel Tower sparkle. Even Adeline really loved it. Last but not least, the Louvre, which of course it's a must-see. That's where the Mona Lisa is, and so many other famous paintings, and just a ginormous museum. You could literally spend all day there. Somehow we got to skip the entire line. We're really not sure how. We had a stroller and we just went up to them and asked them where to stand, and they let us walk right in. So it's worth a try, no guarantees. Other countries like Portugal has a law for infants that you get to skip the line. Paris does not have that. So I don't know how we got out of the line, but it's worth asking. It was awesome seeing iconic paintings and Egyptian artifacts from thousands of years ago. And Adeline really liked down in the medieval section because there was a section where she could kind of walk around and explore.
So we just got done with the Louvre, and I just have to say, I don't think we're ever coming back to Europe without a kid.
Yeah, we basically cut the whole line.
We literally cut the whole line. got right in.
Do we have more
They took us in the elevator down. If we didn't buy tickets ahead of time, it would have been like, what, a 2-3 hour wait probably? But we bought tickets ahead of time, so we probably saved about 30 minutes in line, but still makes a huge difference. I will say, the Louvre was really confusing with the stroller. The elevators were horrible. But other than that, it was great.
The first tip is to pre-book your tickets to attractions and museums ahead of time. As you know, Paris is a super busy and popular tourist city, and there are so many attractions like the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre that the lines can get hours and hours long to just buy your tickets. So by pre-booking your tickets, you will have timed entry to a lot of the attractions, which can be a little bit of struggle with a toddler, but it's much better than waiting in line for hours. So I highly recommend that you do that. It's going to save you the headache of waiting in line for hours. There will probably still be a shorter line that you have to wait in, but it's going to be way less than if you didn't buy your tickets in advance. A little tip if you're visiting Versailles is you're going to want a golf cart for exploring the grounds. We didn't time it right, and Adeline fell asleep right as we were heading to the grounds in her stroller. So we had to walk the whole thing, and we would have just been able to see a lot more and seen it a lot faster if we could have rented a golf cart. It's totally worth it, so definitely keep that in mind in your planning. Another tip is you're definitely going to want a small travel stroller for Paris. The streets are really narrow, and so it would be kind of hard to navigate with a bigger stroller. In the metro, a lot of places don't have elevators, so it's a lot easier if you can quickly make it compact, fold it up really quickly, or have you and whoever you're traveling with hold that stroller. So it just makes it a lot easier if that stroller is light and easy to fold up and get on the go. Another important tip is you're going to be walking around a lot, which means they're going to be in their stroller a lot. So you're going to want to get them used to that before you go on a trip. And something helpful that we saw a lot of the locals do was give them like a little baguette or croissant or snack to keep them busy, or, you know, like entertain them with some toys. You're going to need that to keep them entertained and keep them okay with being in the stroller because it's a lot of walking. Another thing that we noticed is diaper changing stations can be really hard to find. So if you see one, take advantage. Otherwise, we just changed her in the stroller outside, but I felt really bad doing that because it was March and it was freezing. So I just used a diaper changing station whenever I could, whenever I saw one. Another tip is if you're taking public transportation everywhere, don't bother bringing a car seat from home. On the trains and metros, your baby can stay in the stroller. If you do have a single ride where you're going to be needing a car seat, I found if you hire a private taxi and tell them that you're going to be needing a car seat, they will have one for you. If not, you could always rent one whenever you get there for a few days, whenever you need it. I know of a good service for that, and I will link it in the description. But we were able to get by in Paris without a car seat, no problem. And my last tip is try to mix in some museum and adult-oriented experiences with some more kid-friendly experiences so that you guys are all having a great time. There are tons of fun and beautiful parks and things in Paris that are catered towards kids, that have playgrounds and places to run around, and a lot of the museums also have kid-friendly interactive spots. So you're going to be fine, but if there is a certain museum that you're really wanting to check out, you could either take turns with your travel partner or spouse, or you could try to plan it for their nap time if they're good stroller nappers. We did that with the Musée d'Orsay, and I know I butchered that, but it really helped us be able to just, you know, take a chance to look at the paintings and have like a little mini date while Adeline was napping safe and sound in her stroller. So I hope these tips were helpful for you. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment any questions you have about our time in Paris. I will see you guys next week.